I've lived on a barge for about 2.5 years now, yeah.
Okay, and why did you choose to live on a barge?
Well, I got into drama school. I'm from Bristol originally, and I really wanted to live somewhere I wanted to live rather than somewhere prescribed and like a student accommodation or an expensive flat. And the thing about living on a boat is it's ideal because I will own this boat eventually, so I don't have to pay a lot of rent to someone there.
Okay, so are you paying rent at the moment?
Well, I'm paying back the loan I got to buy the boat as rent from my student loan.
Oh, perfect. Okay, and can I ask about how much you're paying?
Yeah, well, just usual kind of 400 a month.
Okay, and do you have to pay council tax?
You don't have to pay council tax. You pay a yearly fee of about £700, and that entitles you to go anywhere in the UK.
Wow. Do you find it better? Like, do you find it more affordable to live in London because you're living on a boat?
It's kind of. I mean, the problem is the amount of work that you've got to do to keep it going. I mean, I've got loads of problems right now. My engine's fucked up, and you know, it's a constant, ongoing challenge.
What about facilities-wise? Do you feel like you're missing out on anything by?
I suppose it's the same as anything, really. You get positives on one side and then the negatives. TV, indeed. Positives on one side and the negatives on another. So I've got an amazing home that I own in central London. Very practical. I've got a garden on my roof. I've got solar panels. But then I also have to pump my own shit out on a weekly basis, and fill up my water tank and check my engine and fix my engine. You know, so it's,
And can you see yourself living on a barge forever? Or
I don't think I can see myself doing anything forever. No. Just have to see where the wind takes me.
And when I was a child, my parents were quite keen campers because we're quite countrified with hill walking and all the rest of it. And I remembered back to a holiday I had as a child where we stayed in London, but in a caravan. And I remembered the site and I remembered where it was. So I went and had a look again. Bit of nostalgia more than anything, I think. But then it sort of stirred something in me and thought, well, hang on a second here. Let's look at this logically. How easy would it be to operate from Newcastle and come down and work Thursday to Sunday or Thursday to Monday in London? I said, you know, because I thought to myself, the guys in the city do that. They'll travel down on a Monday and then they'll travel back on a Friday and have weekends at home. All I'm doing is the opposite, in essence. So I looked at it and I looked at different sites and I found there was a few proper caravan sites, not gypsy caravan sites, because that's not what I was looking for, which would be able to accommodate a caravan on what would be classed as a seasonal pitch, where you pay an amount of money and then you can leave your caravan there for that defined period of time. So I looked at that, looked at caravans, looked at cost, and I thought this could be a goer. Because in essence, that's what I'm doing. I'm doing the opposite to what the office city guys would do. I'm coming down for a weekend working, going back. That was the original plan. So I looked at all of that and found somewhere, managed to get a pitch on a site in near Greenwich in South London. And that cost me, for a 5-month period, that cost me literally just over £1,300 for 5 months.
So I was looking at loads of places in London, and my budget's really small, so I immediately started looking at these things called living guardians, which is basically where you live in and you live in accommodation that could be like old schools, old churches, and you pay really low rent, but they maybe like X squats. And I looked around at a few of those, but the leases were really like short term. And then I found this space, and it's by far the cheapest thing I ever found in London. But also, it's you'll see in a minute. It's a bit of when you first get these units, they're a bit of a shell, but they're kind of, you have to add to make them into something else. And I loved it here. It was cheap, but also there's a great vibe here. There's a great community spirit, and you don't get that in other areas of London that may be a bit more central. So this is the house. Here is our kitchen dining area. So these are the housemates. We have this shared kitchen area. Everything, as said, has been built here, including this table, which was part of one of Marco's sets before for the film. We've got 4 people living here, so it's a bit. It's actually really, really cramped, but because we get on so well, it doesn't feel like that. It's like the smallest place I've ever lived in, but it doesn't feel like that. And here's our little bathroom, and well, there are actually 5 people are living here at the minute, so it's very cramped. And up there is the up here is the mezzanine, which Marco and Fabrizio live in. It's literally just it's just a bed above this ceiling, and that's all. And then the skylight hits it, so it's essentially just a bed. And then come through to the studio space, which is a bit of a mess at the minute. But here's our worktop, which is covered in bits and pieces from Marco's show, like lights, and we normally have all the equipment up here, and we bought a spare bed, which we built a spare bed which we can pull down, which one of our guests is sleeping in tonight. So we have 2 guests here tonight, and as you can see, these are very translucent walls, so the privacy is at a premium here. And then here's my room. So we've got the bed. I love it. It's perfect because the height for the window, it's just, you get lots of air in, and it's like we have to use our storage space very wisely. So I've got like a whole house of things under here.
There was a notice on, because there's a group for the whole road in the area. We basically made there's a group on Facebook for the community, and someone posted in the council will discuss eventual eviction of the space in all the houses, like in the nearest future. So yeah, they just discussed it and they put the minutes online, and it was nice to see that. I mean, there's no care essentially from the council. I mean, one of the actual comments on the council was like the majority of the people living in the premises are young, self-employed creatives, so less likely to claim job seekers allowance or benefits in case of eviction, and the council will not be responsible for rehousing because they're not on benefits. So that's what was the comment the Harrogate Council did on it.